Hello everyone, today we are going to learn Chapter 9 Family and Community Part 2 from your Social Science textbook. In this video, I'll be covering each and every line from the chapter so you don't miss anything important. Make sure to keep your notebook and pen ready and take notes while watching. This will help you remember the concepts better. You can pause or rewind any time to write things down. So, let's begin. Community. Families are connected not only within themselves but also with other families and the people around them. Such a group of connected people may be called a community. There are other meanings for community depending on the context. Members of a community come together for various reasons like celebrating festivals and organizing feasts, weddings and other events. So, families are not just connected inside their own homes. They are also connected with other families and people living nearby. When many connected families live together and share things like festivals, weddings, and other events, they form a community. The community is a group of people who live together, help each other, and celebrate together. The word community can have other meanings too, depending on how it's used. In some villages, people come together to support each other with agricultural practices like land preparation, sowing, and harvesting. Over time, communities often agreed upon some practices on the use of shared natural wealth and resources such as water, grazing lands, and forest produce. This is the case with many tribal communities. Sowing is the process of planting seeds in the soil. Farmers or gardeners put seeds into the ground so that they can grow into plants, flowers, or crops. And harvesting means collecting or gathering crops or fruits from the fields when they are fully grown and ready. In some villages, people help each other with farming work like preparing the land, sowing seeds, and harvesting crops. Over time, communities also made rules about how to share and use natural resources like water, grasslands, and forest products so that everyone gets a fair share. This kind of sharing and helping is common in many tribal communities where people live closely with nature and support each other. Forest produce means all the useful things they get from forests like wood, fruits, nuts, honey, medicinal herbs, and many more. To some extent, this remains the case in village communities in rural India today. Such practices, we may call them rules, though they were rarely written down, have provided communities a secure access to resources. But it also means that all families and individuals within the community have specific duties to perform. Otherwise, the community will not function smoothly. Here, rural India means the villages and countryside areas of India. So, even today, in some village communities in rural India, people still follow old practices of sharing and using natural resources together. These practices are like rules. Even if they were never written down, they help make sure that everyone gets their fair share of things like water, land, and forest produce. But to keep the community working well, every person and family has certain duties. If people don't do their part, the community cannot run smoothly. Don't miss out. Year after year, the region around the town of Jhabua in Madhya Pradesh suffered from an acute water crisis. Following their Halma sea-facing page, tradition of coming together to support any individual or family in times of crisis, the Bhil community decided to plant thousands of trees in hundreds of villages. The Bhil community is one of the largest tribal communities in India. They mostly live in states like Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. Halma is a tradition followed by the Bhil community where people come together to help and support each other during difficult times. It means working as a team to solve problems or help a family or person in need. Every year, the area near the town of Jhabua in Madhya Pradesh faced a serious problem of water shortage. To solve the water problem, the Bhil community followed their tradition called Halma and decided to plant thousands of trees in many villages to fix the problem. The Bhils also dug many trenches to conserve rainwater and created other water harvesting structures. They did not get paid for this work, but did it as their duty towards their community and the environment. In the Halma tradition, the objective is to serve Mother Earth. Dug is the past tense of dig. It means to make a hole in the ground using tools or with your hands. Trenches means long, narrow holes made in the ground. People dig trenches to hold water or plant trees. Water harvesting means collecting and saving rainwater so it can be used later. So the Bhil community also dug trenches and built water harvesting structures to save rainwater. They did not take any money for this work. They did it because they felt it was their duty to help their community and protect nature. In the Halma tradition, the main goal is to serve and respect Mother Earth. In 2019, Sri Mahesh Sharma of the Shivganga movement was honored with the Padma Shri Award for his transformational work with the Bhil communities. Sri Mahesh Sharma is a social worker who has done great work with the Bhil communities in Madhya Pradesh. He started the Shivganga movement to help the people protect their land, water and forest and to improve their way of life. Through this movement, they planted trees, dug trenches and built water harvesting structures to take care of the environment. In 2019, he was awarded the Padma Shri, one of India's highest civilian awards, for his transformational work with tribal communities. Transformational work means doing something that brings big positive changes. It helps improve the lives of people or a community in a very important way. During the Chennai floods of 2015, roads turned to rivers and people could no longer move around. Almost all shops were closed and services interrupted. Many private groups, in particular spiritual and religious organizations, cooked large quantities of food and distributed it to people who needed it. In 2015, Chennai experienced very heavy floods. The roads filled with water and looked like rivers, so people couldn't travel easily. Almost all the shops were closed and many services stopped working. During this difficult time, many private groups, especially spiritual and religious organizations, helped by cooking large amounts of food and giving it to people who needed it. There are many more such examples of people coming together to do something for the benefit of the community without expecting anything in return. Have you heard of any? So there are many examples of people helping others without asking for anything in return. They do it just to help others. Even you might have heard about a time when people worked together to help someone or the whole community without asking for anything in return. The real life stories above illustrate community in a rural context. Community is also present in an urban context, although it may function a little differently. Let us see an example from another real life story. The stories we talked about earlier show how people in villages come together to help each other. That's what we call a community. But communities don't exist only in villages. They also exist in cities and towns, which are called urban areas. In cities, people may live differently and face different problems, so the way communities work can be a bit different too. Now, let's look at a real story from a city to understand how communities come together there. Here, you can see some pictures of the Halma tradition. In the first picture, people from the Bhil community are digging trenches to collect rainwater and to plant trees. In another picture, people are celebrating together before starting the work maybe. You can also see families bringing their own tools to dig holes in the ground. The last picture shows how the dry land became green after the rains. The rainwater is stored in a pond. More than 20 years ago, in an area of Ahmedabad, Gujarat, Kamal Parmar, owner of a small auto fabrication workshop, noticed a group of underprivileged children on the street. Some had dropped out of school, while others had never been to school. More than 20 years ago, in a part of Ahmedabad city in Gujarat, a man named Kamal Parmar owned a small workshop where he fixed and made parts for vehicles. One day, he saw a group of poor children living on the streets. Some of these children had stopped going to school and others had never been to school at all. Kamal started giving them tuition from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. every day after his regular work hours. He also provided the kids with a free dinner. Soon, 150 children were attending those classes regularly and were deeply interested in the lessons. Kamal decided to help the children by teaching them lessons every evening from 5:30 to 9:30 p.m. after he finished his own work. He also gave the children free dinner so they wouldn't be hungry while learning. Because of this, soon 150 children started coming to his class regularly and they were very excited to learn. A few teachers from a local school noticed the classes and joined the teaching for a while. One of them observed, these children don't get proper benches to sit on, have no silent zone classrooms, and the vehicles passing by make lots of noise, yet they pay all their attention to what the teachers tell them. This touched my heart. The love and affection I got from them was unbelievable. So, a few teachers from a nearby school saw the children studying and decided to help by teaching them for some time. One teacher noticed that these children don't have proper benches to sit on. Their classroom is not quiet. It's noisy because cars and bikes pass by all the time. There is no silent zone like in regular schools. But still, the children listened carefully to the teachers. That really touched my heart. It made me feel very emotional and happy inside. The love and kindness the children gave me was amazing. Some older children who were attending regular schools also joined as volunteers to teach in Kamal's classes. One of them remarked, we went there to teach. Instead, we learned a lot from them. So, some older children who were going to regular schools decided to help by teaching in Kamal's classes. One of these children said, we thought we were going to teach the kids, but actually we learned a lot from them. Discuss this story in your class. What kind of attitude towards the community does it reveal? This story shows us very special attitude towards the community called helpfulness and caring. Kamal saw children in need and decided to help them by teaching and feeding them without expecting anything in return. The teachers and older students joined in because they wanted to support the children and learn from them. Everyone worked together with love, kindness, and respect for each other. So, the story teaches us that being part of a community means helping others, sharing what we have, and learning from each other. What values get reflected in Kamal Parmar's initiative? Values in Kamal Parmar's initiative: kindness. Kamal cared for children who needed help and gave them time and food. Selflessness. He helped without asking for anything in return. Responsibility. He took in upon himself to teach and support the children. Community spirit. He brought people together to help the children learn. Respect and love. Kamal and the volunteers respected the children and showed them love. Think about those underprivileged children. Do you think society has been unfair to them? Yes, society has been unfair to these underprivileged children. They didn't have the chance to go to school or get a good education like many other children. They may not have enough food, clothes, or a safe place to live. But the good thing is that people like Kamal Parmar and others stepped up to help, showing that we can make things better by caring and working together. What should society do to make sure that all children get access to education? Society means all of us, people, schools, the government, and even students like you. To help every children go to school and learn, we can build more schools so that every child has a school near their home. Give free education. Some families are poor and cannot pay school fees. Free education helps them. Provide books, uniforms, and meals. Many children can't afford these things, so giving them for free helps them stay in school. Support poor families. If parents have jobs and enough money, they don't have to make their children work. Spread awareness. Teach everyone that education is a right, not a gift. Every child deserves it. Respect every child, whether rich or poor. All children should be treated equally in school and in life. Encourage people to help, like Kamal Parmar and the teachers. Even small help can make a big difference. No child should be left behind. Every child should have a chance to learn, grow, and dream just like you. New types of communities have also emerged in the last 30 or 40 years. Residents' welfare associations in many urban areas are examples of communities that make their own rules and regulations. Those could be rules about waste management, cleanliness of common areas, taking care of pets, and so on. People living in the community participate in making such rules and regulations. So, in the last 30 to 40 years, new types of communities have come up, especially in cities. One example is called a Residents' Welfare Association. This is a group of people who live in the same building or colony and work together to make rules that help everyone live better. For example, they make rules about throwing garbage properly, that is, waste management, keeping parks, stairs, and other shared places clean, taking care of pet animals. The best part is that everyone living there can take part in making the rules. This helps people learn to live together, share responsibility, and solve problems as a team. In short, a residents' welfare association is like a team of neighbors working together to make their area a cleaner, safer, and happier place. Communities are ultimately interdependent. The same residents' welfare associations, for instance, will depend on the trading community for supplies and also on municipal workers to handle waste. In our complex societies, everyone depends on a number of other people and communities. So, communities need each other to work well. For example, Residents' Welfare Association in cities depend on the trading community to get supplies like food and goods. The trading community means a group of people who are involved in buying and selling goods. These people are called traders, shopkeepers, or business people. They buy products like food, clothes, toys, books, etc. from factories or farmers. Then they sell them to people in shops, markets, or online. The trading community helps make sure we all get the things we need every day. Without them, we wouldn't have easy access to food, clothes, school supplies, and more. Residents' Welfare Association also rely on municipal workers who collect and manage the garbage. Municipal workers are people who work for the local government called the municipality to help take care of our towns and cities. So, even if a community works together, it still needs help from other people and groups. Let's explore. Make a list of all people outside your family that are supporting you through their work in one way or another. So, we need to make a list of all the people outside your family who help you every day through their work. Teachers who teach you at school. Shopkeepers who sell food and clothes. Doctors and nurses who take care of you when you're sick. Police officers who keep your community safe. Garbage collectors who keep your streets clean. Bus drivers or auto drivers who help you travel. Postal workers who deliver letters and parcels. Farmers who grow the food you eat. Many people you don't even know by name are helping you every single day through their work. You can also think of more people and add them to the list. We now understand that community is a flexible concept. A few examples: a jati or a subdivision of it is also often called a community. We now understand that a community is a group of people who live, work, or share something in common. It is a flexible concept, which means it can change depending on what people share. In many parts of India, people are grouped by their jati, a traditional group based on family background, work, or customs. People who belong to the same jati share similar customs and ways of life. Because they are connected in this way, a jati is often called a community too. A group of people of a particular religion, region, common work, or interest, especially a smaller group, may also be called a community. For instance, Mumbai's Parsi community, Chennai's Sikh community, America's Indian community, Kerala's scientific community, our school's art community, the village's farming community, and so on. The list is endless. A community can be any group of people who have something in common. It could be the same religion, like Mumbai's Parsi community, the same region or place, like Chennai's Sikh community, the same country but living abroad, like America's Indian community, the same kind of work, like Kerala's scientific community, the same hobby or interest, like our school's art community, same type of job or lifestyle, like the village farming community. So a community can be big or small, and people in it are connected by what they share. That's why we say the list of communities is endless. In your school, you may be part of different communities. Your class, of course, but also the sports community, the national service scheme, the national cadet corps, a science or drama club, etc. In your school, you are part of many different communities, not just your class. You might also be part of the sports community if you play games or on a team. The national service scheme if you help with social service. The national cadet corps if you do cadet training. A science club or a drama club if you love science or acting. Each of these is a small community where people work and learn together because they share the same interest or goal. Let's explore. What types of communities are you part of? Here you need to think of the different communities that you are part of and write them down. I'll give you a sample answer. You can add your own answers according to your daily routine and the people around you. I'm part of the following communities. School community, where you study and learn with your classmates and teachers. Neighborhood community, where you live with your family and neighbors in the same area. Religious community, where you go and take part in prayers and festivals. It can be a temple, mosque, church, gurudwara, and so on. Sports community, where you go and play cricket, football, or any sports with your friends. Cultural community, a group that speaks the same language and celebrates the same festivals. Friendship group, your close group of friends who support and play with you. Think about your daily life, where you go, what you do, and who you spend time with, and write down your own list of community. Is there a club that you are part of in school? How does it function? If you are part of any club in your school, like the science club, reading club, music club, or any other, you can write it down and describe how it works. I will give you your sample answer here. You can write your own answer like this based on the club you are part of in school. Yes, I am a member of the reading club in my school. In our club, we read storybooks together during our club time, share our favorite books and talk about the stories. Sometimes we do storytelling or read aloud in turns. We take part in reading challenges where we try to finish a certain number of books in a month. We also make book reviews and decorate the reading corner in our classroom. Our club helps me become a better reader and I enjoy discovering new books with my friends. Before we move on, family is the foundation of human society. Ideally, members of a family support each other in their many duties and tasks. Before we move on, let's recall what we learned so far. Family is the starting point of human society. It is like the base or foundation of our lives. In a good family, all the members help and support each other. Parents take care of children. Children help in small ways at home. Everyone shares love, respect and responsibilities. When family members work together, it makes life happier and easier for everyone. Community, a bigger unit, also implies that people do their best to support each other. Community can be defined in several ways and there are many kinds of community. So a community is a larger group of people who live together or share something in common. Just like a family, in a community, people try to help and support each other. There are many kinds of communities like people living in the same neighborhood, people who follow the same religion or culture, people with the same hobby or interest, people working or learning together. So the word community can have many meanings depending on how people are connected. Ultimately, communities are interdependent. So in the end, communities are interdependent, which means they depend on each other to live and grow. No community can do everything by itself. For example, a school community may depend on shopkeepers for books and supplies. A farming community may depend on other people to sell their crops. City communities depend on farmers for food and on workers for services. So everyone helps each other and that's how communities stay strong and work well. So with this, we have completed part 2 of the chapter Family and Community. I hope you found it easy to understand. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We will see you again in our next video. Bye bye.